Hello everybody, this is Passion 9. And tonight, I want to tell you about great anime about anime. Starting with Otaku no Video. This one's a bit of an oldie. It's from Studio Gainax, and it's essentially the origins of the term otaku, which is not just about being a fan of anime. Otaku is actually a word meaning a very passionate person. Essentially, a nerd, you know. Somebody obsessively knowledgeable about a particular subject, whatever that may be. And in this film in particular, it's mostly anime, but also other forms of pop culture like kaiju and military and sci-fi and all that. This film, in addition to, it was released in the late 80s. It's a two-part OVA essentially, but between you and me, there aren't many places to find this online, so you might want to just watch the rips that are available on YouTube, because there's quite a few of those. You didn't hear that from me, but you also did hear it from me, so it's fine. It's essentially a two-part movie where Gainax is both telling their own origin story as an anime studio. Gainax, of course, famous for Evangelion and Gunbuster and so on and so forth. But this is their origin story as well. They put this out because it's also kind of about how they got started as a studio at a time where the otaku subculture was still kind of a new thing. It was kind of rising up, So you get kind of a slice of 80s anime subcultural origins here, and it's pretty freaking neat. They're even like, in addition to being a fun anime about essentially a bunch of real otaku that got together to form a studio of their own based on their passion for this medium, for this art form. It's also full of these little like live action interviews filmed at the time, featuring real life otaku, presumably, and it's pretty funny. But overall, it's really just very informative about that term and what it really truly means. It's not just about anime. Otaku, in its original definition, is really just super passionate people that become not only obsessive about the thing they love, but also super knowledgeable about the thing they love, and they want to share it and cultivate it, and So yeah, I recommend this anime quite a bit. It is old, it's from a couple decades back, so the animation may not be the flashiest thing, but it's still Gainax. They are a legendary studio, and this is like one of those must-see anime productions about the medium itself that I recommend. So you gotta see it. Anyway, that's that. Another one I want to recommend, the second one tonight, is Shiro Bako. Now, this is more recent. This is like at least 10 years back, so it's a little more recent than Otaku no Video. This is an anime. This is 20-something episode anime. I'm a little drunk. I don't exactly remember how many episodes, but it's in the 25, 24 episode range. It's one of those. And this is an anime about an anime studio, albeit a fictional one. But it is essentially sort of a fun, quirky, in-depth look at the process of a typical anime studio. A mid-range, typical quality anime studio, the struggles, the hardships, the ups, the downs. What drives the artists in this line of work to do what they do, why they're so passionate about it, why it's as much of a hassle as it can be sometimes, and why it's worth the hassle. It's a really fun show. It came out in around like I want to say 2010 or 2011. So early previous decade, Shiro Bako. I recommend looking into that one because it's quite fun. And then, finally, we have the third anime on this list. Far more recent, came out early this year. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. It's a long title, unfortunately. But that's the biggies. Remember this. Hands Off Eizouken. Came out this year, and it's actually directed by Masaki Yuasa, who also directed Devilman Crybaby, The Tatami Galaxy, Lou Over the Wall, if you want it, or another film, The Night Is Short, Walk On Girl. He did that as well. He's quite an interesting anime director, and Hands Off Eizouken is a more recent work, but it's essentially about a bunch of it's about 3 school kids that form a club where they're super passionate about anime, and much like Shirobako, it's kind of about what gets people into this art form, why it's worth celebrating, why it's worth the effort and passion that people pour into it, why we love what we love. Like, it's a pretty fun, passionate work, and it's Masaki Yuasa directing, so you can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's pretty fun and imaginative, and the characters are lovable and endearing because they are making their own anime. They form an anime club, and they get together to make their own anime to impress their school, to the point where they had to, like, sneak into this club that was supposed to be for live action films, but they're making anime films instead because that's what they want to make, and they have to break the rules to do it because that's how passionate they are. You know, the school doesn't even believe in, you know, having a club based around just anime projects. So they have to, like, hijack this club that's supposed to be about live action films to say that that's what they're doing, and in fact, that's not what they're doing. So it's a fun show. These are all fun shows, and you should watch them. This video's gone on long enough. Passion 9 from the Otaku Underworld. Live for the passion. See y'all next time.